Am I the asshole for cutting off my cousin after finding out? She was the reason my ex broke up with me. Let me take you back to the start. My life was a fairy tale, or at least I thought it was. Jay and I had been together for 3 beautiful years. We weren't just dating, we were planning our future. We'd talk late into the night about our dream home, our future kids, and the kind of old couple we'd be. Everything seemed perfect. Until one day, it wasn't. It was a regular Thursday evening. Jay had been distant for a few weeks, but I chalked it up to work stress. Then, out of the blue, he told me he wasn't feeling it anymore and needed space. Just like that. No warnings, no signs, at least none that I could see. I was blindsided, devastated, and utterly heartbroken. Imagine planning your life with someone and then having it ripped away with no explanation. I spent the next few months in a haze of tears and self-doubt. I couldn't understand what went wrong. Every time I reached out to Jay for closure, all I got were vague responses. He'd say things like, "I don't know what happened," or "I just need to figure myself out." It was torture. My friends tried to comfort me, suggesting maybe he had someone else, but I refused to believe it. Jay wasn't like that. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. Fast forward to last week. A mutual friend, let's call her M, dropped a bombshell. She told me that my cousin, L, had hooked up with Jay right before he broke up with me. My world shattered all over again. Elle wasn't just any cousin. She was my confidant, my rock. She knew every detail of my relationship with Jay. She was the one who'd hold me when I cried, telling me I deserved someone who'd treat me right. And all this time, she was the one who destroyed it. I was a mix of fury and heartbreak. I confronted Elle, and she didn't even deny it. She had the audacity to say, "It was before he broke up with you. I didn't think it would mess things up this much." Really? It didn't matter when it happened. The betrayal was the same. She knew how much Jay meant to me, and she still went behind my back. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that she kept it from me. She watched me spiral into a pit of despair, and she said nothing. She let me cry on her shoulder, knowing she was the reason for my pain. And then there was T, my so-called friend. She knew about Elle and Jay, and she kept it from me too. She listened to me pour my heart out about how broken I was, and she stayed silent. When I found out the truth, I felt a new kind of heartbreak. Not only had I lost my boyfriend, but I'd also lost my cousin and my friend. I confronted T about it, and she said she didn't want to hurt me more. But how could she stand by and watch me suffer in ignorance? That's not what friends do. I decided to cut both Laura and Tanya out of my life. I blocked them on everything and haven't spoken to them since. My family is divided on this. Some think I'm justified, others think I'm being too harsh. But here's the thing. Betrayal is betrayal. It doesn't matter if it was meant to hurt me or not. The pain is the same. I did what I had to do to protect myself. But sometimes, in the dead of night, I wonder if I overreacted. Did I throw away years of family and friendship too quickly? But then I remember the pain they caused, the trust they shattered, and I feel justified again. Now let me rewind a bit and give you some more context. Elle and I grew up together. We were more like sisters than cousins. Our families were close, and we spent every holiday and every summer together. She was my partner in crime, my best friend. We had so many memories of midnight snacks, sneaking out, and sharing secrets. So when I say her betrayal cut deep, I mean it. After Jay and I started dating, Laura was one of my biggest supporters. She would always ask about him, give me advice, and tell me how lucky I was to have found such a great guy. She was there when we had our first big fight, comforting me and assuring me that every couple goes through rough patches. She was there when we celebrated our anniversaries, cheering us on and making a toast to our future. So when I found out that she was the reason my relationship ended, it felt like my whole world was a lie. How could she do this to me? How could she look me in the eyes, knowing what she'd done, and pretend to be my support system. It made me question everything, every conversation, every hug, every piece of advice she'd given me. As for Tanya, she was my go-to friend for everything. We met in college and clicked instantly. She was my sounding board, my voice of reason. When Jay broke up with me, she was there every step of the way. She listened to my endless rants, brought me ice cream, and helped me through the darkest days. Knowing she kept such a huge secret from me felt like another knife in the heart. I'll never forget the day I confronted Laura. My hands were shaking, my heart was pounding. I could barely get the words out. But when I did, her response was like a slap in the face. It was before he broke up with you. I didn't think it would mess things up this much. How could she be so casual about it? Did she not realize the depth of her betrayal? Did she not care about the pain she caused? And Tanya? When I confronted her, she had tears in her eyes. She said she didn't want to make things worse for me, that she thought it was better if I didn't know. But how could she think that letting me live a lie was better? How could she watch me suffer and not say a word? Her silence was as painful as Laura's actions. Cutting them off wasn't an easy decision. I spent countless nights tossing and turning, wondering if I was doing the right thing. But in the end, I realized that I needed to put myself first. I needed to protect my heart, to surround myself with people who truly cared about me, people who wouldn't betray me, who wouldn't keep secrets from me. My family's reaction has been mixed. Some of them understand my decision and support me. Others think I'm being too harsh, that I should forgive and forget. But how do you forgive such deep betrayals? How do you move past the lies and the deceit? It's a question I wrestle with every day. So, am I the asshole for cutting off my cousin and my friend? Maybe some people think so. Perhaps they think I'm overreacting and that I should give them another chance. But until you've walked in my shoes, until you've felt the pain of such deep betrayals, it's hard to understand. I did what I had to do to heal and move forward. And that's what matters most.